This card is terrible, and I'm going to tell you why. The other day I was talking to my friend Alex about Stunfisk and why this card is so terrible. What this card does is that it punches for 30, it traps the opponent in the active, and then the next turn, that active Pokemon takes 100 more damage. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, okay, well, this sounds really broken, but in fact, it's not. In the post-rotation format, people are going to pick to go first. What this means is they're going to establish a board of mostly one-prize Pokemon, and these one-prize Pokemon will eventually evolve into big two-prize Pokemon. When you evolve into a Pokemon, or you retreat a Pokemon, that Pokemon's effects all go away. That means status conditions or effects of cards like Stunfisk. That means using a card like Stunfisk to do 100 more damage to a one-prize Pokemon that will eventually turn into a Pokemon that gets rid of those effects altogether is not going to do much of anything. If you do plan on attacking with a Pokemon going second, you are going to need like Frillish or Badoo to do item lock. Item locking is the most powerful thing you can do at the beginning of the game, and honestly throughout most of the game. Preventing your opponent from basically being able to play the game is very good. Talk about items and supporters. Switch, Air Balloon, and Surfer are all very powerful cards that are used to move around the board, which means cards like Stunfisk don't really get their effects off much of at all throughout the game. Trapping stuff isn't necessarily a bad strategy, but I think that's a little bit more impactful. I'd recommend using something like Maractus or Yveltal with Clutch, simply because those Pokemon have more synergy with more Pokemon in the game right now. If you do plan on going second, you might as well use something like Badoo or Frillish to stop your opponent from playing the game. Stunfisk kind of just sits there and does nothing. If you want to do something with a cute little Pokemon, I'd recommend doing it with Badoo or Frillish. So, sorry Alex, your card sucks. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe stick to getting Lovebirds instead. And if you guys have any other questions about the Pokemon TCG, let me know. Peace.